Hey, Lashpreneurs, happy Monday to you. Yep, we're now doing episodes on Monday. Today, we're going to talk about creating a winning Reels formula. So I've had quite a few Reels that have reached the tens of thousands of views. And there is a specific strategy that I'm using that I'm going to share with you today to help you get more eyes on your Reels, which means more eyes on your business, which means more leads coming into your business. At least that's the plan, right? So with Reels, the reason why, and this would apply to TikTok to YouTube Shorts, although I doubt many of you are using YouTube, but TikTok and Reels, they can be used interchangeably. The platforms are, at least Instagram is very much trying to chase TikTok and all of the features that it has. So it can be used for both types of platforms. I'm going to specifically speak to Reels because that is where it is performing the best for me. And I'm going to teach you these 4 factors that really help to get more attention on your Reels. Now, some of y'all are like, I don't want more attention, please, no, which is part of the reason why you're not getting clients off of social media. So we're going to address that fact first, because here's the thing. I have insecurities too, right? Like we all do. I'm not immune to insecurities. I just don't let them stop me. Because here's why. It is more important for me to help you than it is for me to like the sound of my voice, the way my hair looks, whatever my eyelashes are doing. That is all stuff that keeps me from showing up for you, which means that ultimately you're staying in a pain point. You're still facing struggles, obstacles, suffering. So when you're thinking about yourself, and not showing up because you're insecure, you don't like the sound of your voice, you don't like the way that you look on camera, blah, 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 whatever, you got a face for radio. I get it. We all have those insecurities. However, what that means is that you are not able to help somebody that you have the ability, the skill set, the talent, the time, the energy, and the focus to be able to help. You are getting in your own way of doing the thing that you are called to do, which is help someone. And for most of you, it is help somebody make themselves feel better about themselves. So get out of your own way. Stop making it about you. Your marketing is never going to be about you. It shouldn't be about you. You are the vehicle to get someone to where they want to be. And if you continue to hold back and not show up, you are preventing them from finding you to be able to get their problems and their pain points solved. So stop being so selfish and put yourself out there and do funny dances on Reels. All right, now that the little pep talk is over, let's move into the steps, the action steps of what you can be doing to create Reels that do get more attention. That is the name of the game on social media at this current place in time. And at the time of the recording, which by the time it releases, who knows, the whole platform could have blown up and be completely different. That's the way it goes. But for Reels, the reason why it is so highly prioritized in the algorithm and why the whole Instagram platform is changing to prioritize Reels and put Reels everywhere in your feed. It's got its own little button on your home screen. It's got its own little section when you go to create a post. Do you know why? Because TikTok is stealing users from Instagram, and Instagram and Facebook don't like that. No, no, no. They want you to come back to the platform. So they are trying to replicate everything that TikTok offers so that you can continue to be exposed to Instagram's paid ads, which means that that increases Facebook and Instagram's bottom line. That's it. Now you know. So we as content creators, business owners, people who want to use the platform for free, yes, you are marketing for free on this, which no other point in time has there been so much available to market yourself for free. We got to play the game. And that's all it is. It is a game. Your marketing is an experiment at all times. Even when you think you have it figured out, you're still experimenting because the platforms will always evolve and change because they are a business that is matching what their marketplace is telling them. People like short form content now. Do you remember when they released IGTV? They were trying to compete with YouTube because people were going there for more long form content. Now they're getting away from that because everybody's going to TikTok, which is short form content. Videos that are like 6 seconds long, 15 seconds long, 30 seconds long, as opposed to YouTube that's like 7 to 20 minutes long, right? They are always, Instagram, they are always trying to evolve to be competitive in the marketplace, which means you also need to evolve to be competitive in your marketplace. Now, there is more time that goes into creating Reels than there is maybe like just a quick video or a story or a static image. However, when you're looking at the time that you're investing to create a piece of content and the length, that time, or the life cycle of that piece of content, Reels gets the most bang for your buck. So even if it takes you an hour to create a reel, that reel can be shown in someone's feed more than once. And I see it a lot. You guys have probably noticed it too, that you've seen somebody's reel more than once, maybe even 3 times. That is unheard of in any other type of content piece you put on Instagram. We don't see static images. We don't see carousels more than once. We don't see videos more than once. Reels, we will see more than once. And it will get you thousands of more views, it can, than a regular video if you just posted a video clip of something. So it is being prioritized in the algorithm. Again, at the time of this recording, who knows, it could change if you're listening to this in the future. But that is why I'm teaching you this kind of formula, so that you can use the tool of social media marketing to your advantage. Because that's what marketing is how can I use this tool to get me what I want, which is more customers in my business, not more followers, not more likes, not more comments. The whole goal of your social media marketing is to get people onto your website to book an appointment. Secret's out now, okay? So if we want that to happen, then we need to play the game of whatever Instagram is telling us the game we need to play. And right now that is Reels. Okay. So now that we're over ourselves, now that we understand the strategy of using Reels, let's get into how to create a reel that is going to get the most reach possible, which people will term as a viral reel. Now, viral is up for discretion. Does it have to have 1,000 views? Viral to me is anything that has far outperformed what you normally do. So some of you don't even have 1,000 followers, yet a reel can get thousands and thousands of views, which means that a lot of people that aren't following you are seeing your reel, which is great, because then a percentage of those should follow you, like, engage, save, whatever. And a percentage of them that are interested in what you have to offer and are actually potential customers would then go to the next step, which is clicking your link in bio, DMing you, whatever that next step is. All right. So the first thing when creating a potentially viral reel, or any reel that you're going to do, is finding trending audio, which means that you're not doing a voiceover. You're not recording yourself speaking, although you can do that, and you for sure should do that. However, if we are trying to create a formula that works well to draw a bunch of attention to our business, you're going to want to use what's called trending audio. So if you go to the home screen of Instagram, at the bottom, you've got, I think, 5 different little bubbles, or 5 different little options. You've got the home that takes you to your feed where you do the doom scroll. You've got the search feature. So that's kind of like the discover page where you can Google search something inside of Instagram search it. And then you've got the Reels. It's like the little clapper video movie clapper thing with the play button in it. That's Reels. Go there. Typically the first 4 or 5 Reels you're going to see in that section will be using trending audio. That's why that you're seeing them first, is because they're using trending audio. So you'll know at the bottom of a reel, you'll see the scrolling text, and that is the name of the audio. Right next to that, there will be a symbol. It'll either be a music note, like a double music note, or it will be an upward pointing arrow, a diagonal arrow. That means that it is trending audio, and that is really based on what is trending currently. So I've had trending audios. In fact, the reel that I am specifically basing this formula off of, the audio now is no longer trending. Granted, it's been, I think, 3 months since that audio was posted. So that audio was really popular back then, and it's not trending now. Doesn't mean that it can't perform well, but it has a higher likelihood of performing well when you're using trending audio. So you're going to click on that audio, and it's going to take you to the audio page. So you have the option to save the audio, use the audio, or look at what all other posts using that audio are using it for. So that leads me into step number 2, which is when you're looking at and researching trending audio, definitely save it. And then look at how other people are using that audio. How are they using captions to kind of, like, sometimes the audios don't make sense for a business or something like that. But if you see what other people are doing, they will start to show you, and you'll get to get inspiration for how others are using the audio for business and for marketing. So I want you to scroll through until something clicks with you and you get an idea of, I could do that for my business. That would make sense. So for example, the audio that I used for this one particularly viral one was it was like the let me show you what it's all about. Da, 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 da. I can play it for you, but I think you'd rather listen to me sing about it. Just kidding. So that one had nothing to do with marketing, lashes, beauty, nothing. It was just a song. However, how people were using it was they were like dancing and pointing. And granted, I was sitting in a chair. It was from the waist up, whatever. I didn't have to have like the best moves. I just had really, when we're talking about reels, whatever's happening in the video is far less of the draw point in those particular videos than what's being put on the screen through text. So all I'm doing is kind of shimmying along with the beat and pointing on different parts of the screen as I go. Now, what I took from inspiration when I went through what the other posts were doing was coming up with ideas of, okay, I can list off maybe some benefits or some action steps if I'm doing the pointing, right? And I'm doing the pointing on the beat. So where I went with this is I looked at posts that had performed well for the past with me. So for the most part, if you've been doing social media for 6 months or more, you can go back into your analytics and find posts that performed well organically and use those to recreate into a reel version with something with a trending audio. If you're drawing a blank, just come up with some benefits of why somebody would want your service, or what your clients say is like the cool thing and why they choose you, your unique selling points, whatever it is, something that could be a list of things that you can share as educational content about your service. So for me in particular, it was the 7 ways to increase lash speed had performed well on our blog and had performed well in past social media posts. So because there were 7 tips I was giving, I then took the audio that I wanted, and I knew I needed to point 7 times in order to get all 7 steps listed out. So next step number 3 is have fun with it and record the actual video. So this is where your personality should come through. Now, I get some of y'all are terrified of your personality. You think maybe you're really vanilla. Guess what? Your vanilla loving friends are going to be drawn to that. Not everybody wants to like relate to somebody who's shimmying and dancing online. That is a certain type of an audience that is drawn to that. But if you are more subdued, maybe it's just you sitting there and smiling and kind of just going back and forth with your shoulders on the beat or moving your head, whatever. It can be subtle. It doesn't have to be all in your face, TikTok influencer style. There are people who are drawn to a more subdued or vanilla, if you will, if you want to go that way, type content, but you're still showing up and putting yourself out there without having to be outlandish and ridiculous. That is one marketing method, but there are enough people in the world that will be drawn to either method, whether you're, rocky road or vanilla. There's enough people to go around that they would be drawn to you. So embrace that. If your personality is more shy and reserved, then maybe you need trending audio that's a little more reserved or a little more calm or a little more inspirational, as opposed to high vibe, kind of bouncing all over the place kind of dance stuff. And so you're going to have fun with it. You're going to let your personality show through. And I promise you, the more you do them, the more comfortable you'll get with them. I was not comfortable with reels doing them the first time. I'm just now getting comfortable with TikTok and understand, because I'm consuming the platform for the purposes of understanding how people show up on them. And so I am understanding the type of content that people are used to seeing on a new platform for me. So I can start to get creative and how to show up that in a way that matches that platform, if that makes sense. Reels and TikTok go interchangeably, right? They're very much the same type of thing. So have fun with it, show up as yourself. And then the next step, once you've recorded it and you like it, is to then add the text onto the screen. Now, here is my tip number 4. And it's kind of a savage tip that I don't know anybody else who knows this other than where I learned it from. You want to keep your captions. There's a way to time it. So when you're adding captions onto the screen, and you can Google, YouTube, how to create reels for like step-by-steps of how to actually physically create the reel, like as far as like putting text and stuff on there. But what you want to do is when you time out the bullet points or whatever it is you're pointing to, or whatever it is you're listing on screen, you want it to be just a little bit shorter than what it takes for somebody to read it through. So if I have, lash tip number 1, stop excessive fluffing. This is where you're just brushing through the lashes with your tweezers with no real point. right? So if that would take me maybe 1 to 2 seconds to read all of that text on the screen, I want it to be about 3/4 of a second, or just add a second. I want it to be on the screen shorter than it would take to read through the whole thing, because here's why. Views are views. So if somebody needs to go back and rewatch your reel because they couldn't read everything all in one sitting, that counts as a view and boosts the reel and views and engagement. So it's going to trigger the algorithm that, hey, this video is keeping people on the platform longer. And so we're going to keep showing it to more and more people because clearly something's going on here, when really the strategy is they're just trying to read the full sentence that you put on there. So we don't want things to flash on the screen because that's kind of annoying and like people will never be able to read it, but we want it just a touch shorter than it would take for them to read through whatever the bullet point or the list or the text says. And you can test this out and adjust it. So you can go back and watch your reel with the placement of the text and the timing of the text, and just shorten it ever so slightly that it pops, like it disappears off the screen right as you're just kind of getting to the last little part of it. So that way they have to go back and rewatch it in order to be able to get everything that you're saying on there. Now, we don't want paragraphs on there. That's for your actual captions. But with what is on the screen, because it's such a visual thing, it would behoove you to have it be just on the screen, just a touch shorter than it would take to read it. And that is a magic tip. Don't share that. Keep that to yourself, right? No, share away. And then the last section is on the actual caption part of it, because so much of what you're sharing in these trending audios and the benefits of it is you want them reading what the benefits are on the actual reel rather than watching the reel and then going in to read the caption. We want to keep our captions fairly short and to the point. The information that you would normally put in a caption, we want to try and have that be communicated in the real video itself. And again, the beauty about short-lived, I'm totally blanking on the word, shorter content, shorter videos, is that you have to get to the point and communicate what it is that you want to say very quickly. Some reels, like really popular reels, are like 6 seconds, right? It's just like a quick little exchange back and forth, a quick little video, and you're off. The goal is to either entertain or educate. And so the way that I use my reels is I have some of my reels are purely for entertainment, right? To show off personality, to create a relationship, for people to connect with me. And then the other ones are more educational, where I am sharing tips. In fact, my Lash Biz tip of the days from way back when I started those, that was short form content. Those would be reels nowadays. I was cool before it was cool, you know, just saying. But that to me is, we don't need big, long captions with reels, because we want the reels to stand by themselves without a whole lot of other information. The thing you can put in your captions is what's called a call to action. A CTA is what it's called in the marketing world. Now, most of you use call, text, DM to book an appointment, or you leave your phone number in there as your call to action on every single post. I can tell you, you're turning people off, and it's not an effective strategy. It's actually a strategy of desperation when you're constantly trying to sell. Your purpose of social media is to build a relationship and nurture a relationship with a potential customer to lead them into booking an appointment, which happens off of Instagram. It likely happens on your website. If you don't have a website, this is likely why social media marketing is not working for you to book clients. They have nowhere to go. So if they're having to text you or DM you or whatever, it's a lot of extra steps, and it's very confrontational for a potential customer. Going onto your website really helps anybody finding your content on social media to go be able to book their appointment without you having to be involved in it. So call to actions would be things like tag a friend, share this, save this for a future date. Leave a message or leave a DM me if you have questions about eyelash extensions. Or like for my particular reel, it was if you want the download for me building out like the 7 steps to increasing your lash speed, go to this link. And that's a free download. There's no me involved. They don't have to have conversations with me. It's a very passive thing for them to do and a passive thing for me to offer. So there's ways that you can have call to actions, and you should have a call to action on every single post. You should be telling what your viewers, what the next logical step is, liking it, sharing it, commenting on it, asking a question, DMing you. Yes, you could go book an appointment or learn more about our services our link in our bio. All of those are calls to action. And just kind of a good rule of thumb, for every, I would say 7 posts, you can have 1 direct sell, go book an appointment, but the rest should be some other engagement strategy to help open up conversation and communication between you and a follower. So to sum up my 4 steps for creating a winning Reels formula: number 1, use trending audio, look for that diagonal up pointing arrow. Number 2, plan what you're going to record using that trendy audio and use inspiration for other content creators that have used that audio on how you can market your business. Number 3, have fun, show your personality, add text on screen, and make sure that it is creating more views by having it be just a touch shorter than it would take to read it. And then keep your caption short, to the point, and always include a call to action. All right, that is your winnings Reels formula. All right, guys, I'll talk to you next time. Have a good one.